The removal of assets from Royal Lodge was not a domestic change, but a logistical extraction. Specialists from the Royal Collection Trust have accounted for items belonging to the sovereign's estate. This protocol safeguards crown property from legal claims by external creditors. The monarchy has now pivoted from familial structures to a protective administrative body. On November 3rd, 2025, the administrative divide was finalized via letters patent. The title of Duchess was officially vacated, returning Sarah Ferguson to the legal status of a common citizen. This was a procedural realignment mandated by historical protocols of succession. The Crown prioritizes institutional longevity over personal history. The Easter 2026 deadline marks the conclusion of a long-standing grace and favor arrangement. The transition from a 30-room residence to modest parameters of Marsh Farm signifies a fiscally rigid era. King Charles is implementing a strategy of institutional consolidation. By shedding the peripheral costs of the York household, the king intends to stabilize the core of the Windsor dynasty. Prince Andrew's position has been reduced to a fiscal formality. The cessation of his annual £250,000 allowance effectively removes him from the Crown's active balance sheet. He remains within the royal estate, yet lacks any official administrative standing. The severance is absolute. The institution has insulated its future from the modern liabilities of the individuals. The financial instability of the York household is not a recent development, but a systemic failure of long-term planning. Forensic audits have revealed a pattern of high-interest loans sourced from problematic international networks throughout the previous decade. These were not strategic investments, but desperate measures to maintain a lifestyle the Crown had already stopped subsidizing. Debt became the primary architect of their isolation. The commercial value of the York name has reached a point of total exhaustion. Major global publishers have recently declined memoir proposals, citing a significant decline in public interest for peripheral royal narratives. The market for personal confession has been replaced by a rigorous demand for institutional transparency and administrative purity. This erosion traces back to the 1996 divorce settlement. While the Princess of Wales secured a significant capital cushion to maintain her status, the York Agreement provided only a nominal stipend. This discrepancy forced a 30-year reliance on high-risk commercial ventures that have now entirely disintegrated under modern scrutiny. Necessity dictated the risks. The risks eventually dictated the fall. Today, the household faces over 200 creditors, ranging from international legal firms to private luxury vendors. The liquidation of Hartmore LLC reflects the definitive end of an era where royal titles could be leveraged for commercial access. Even essential costs, such as private medical maintenance, have become unsustainable fixed overheads within a modern, streamlined monarchy. The enterprise is insolvent. The institution has survived. Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie face a structural impasse. Their executive roles at Affinity and Hauser & Wirth function as essential income streams rather than social prestige. They must now engineer a total professional separation from the York household to ensure their own survival. The market has reached a definitive verdict. Major retailers have refused to stock products associated with the York name, citing reputational liability. A terminal paradox exists within their private accounts. A projected £5 million inheritance due by 2030 offers no relief for current insolvency. The household lacks the liquid capital required to maintain its operational scale. Future assets cannot resolve a present-day fiscal crisis. The social perimeter has collapsed. Professional associates named in legal investigations have severed ties to avoid collateral risk. The Yorks now exist in an administrative vacuum. Only one liquid asset remains: the sale of personal testimony to global media syndicates. This path offers immediate capital, but triggers an irreversible expulsion from the sovereign's inner circle. It is the choice between temporary solvency and the permanent loss of institutional standing. Public sentiment is clinical. Recent polling indicates 54% of the population favors the cessation of all support for the peripheral household. The king has prioritized the survival of the crown. Is the king's clinical abandonment of his brother a necessary act of institutional preservation or a betrayal of the bloodline? Share your perspective below. Subscribe for more forensic insights.